Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to our Thursday night edition of our Cakery Creator Circle. I am so happy you are here. I'm going to pull you up on my phone really quick. Let me silence it first. Make sure I'm live. Okay. Yay, there we are. Okay. Hello, hello. I'm so happy you are here. I hope that you were able to catch Eileen. She was on before me. Eileen is with Creative Eye Designs by Eileen. So funny. She didn't know what I was making tonight. I didn't know what she was making tonight. And she did a strawberry dessert, and I'm getting ready to do a double strawberry dessert. So fun. So Mary comes up next after me. I normally will go from like 7 to 8 p.m. and then Barb will come in from Creative Hearts Corner from 8 to 9. And tonight she is spending time with her family, celebrating her daughter who is graduating. So she will not be on this evening. So I'm going to do a double. So I'm going to do Betsy and Barb all together, but we're going to do more than one tutorial. And then Mary will come up at 9 p.m. to wrap things up. I don't know what she's doing. It would be super funny if she ends up doing something strawberry themed as well. So, all right, I have a ton of stuff on my table here. I'm hoping and praying I don't have to leave you all and get additional supplies, but we'll have to see. So anyway, I'm going to grab you. I'm going to grab. Thank you. Eileen just said she got me in the group. Yay. Thank you so much. Hey, Jennifer. Welcome. I'm going to grab our other camera really quick. So you will see everything on my table, but I really want to grab it to show you the tutorials as we're going. So I'll be able to show it to you better. Oh, no. Okay, click the wrong button. I almost ended you all. Whoops. Okay, yay, we're good. Hey, Tammy, welcome in. Hey, Joe. Hello, sis. Hi, so happy to see you here. Hey, Janae. Oh, I'm so happy all my sweet friends are showing up here for us tonight. I love you all so much. Thank you for the love and the support. If you all missed Eileen, be sure and head over to her page after this is done, after our evening is done. And then you'll be able to see her little strawberry shortcake. It turned out so cute. I'm going to be doing at least 2. We'll see how much time we have if we go more than 2. So, hey, Joe, welcome. So happy you're here as well. Okay, so the first one I'm going to make is a strawberry cheesecake. And then the second one's going to be like a little mini strawberry pie. And I just called it Strawberry Pie Baby. Hey, Dee, welcome. So anyway, I have a lot of stuff on my table here. So I'm going to, instead of telling you all the supplies, I'm going to tell you as I go so that it's not confusing to you all, since we're going to actually do more than one tutorial tonight. So, okay, the first thing I'm going to do, move my mouse out of the way, but first thing we're going to do is I'm going to start with the resin, because it needs to, let me grab my gloves really quick. The resin needs, it takes about, this brand has like a 30 to 40 minute work time. So I'm going to set my alarm for 30 minutes, just so I don't forget about it. And then we'll start making the cheesecake part of the dessert. And then we'll come back in when the resin is ready. Sorry, I'm out of your view. When the resin is ready, and then we'll be able to top it with the strawberries. Okay. All right. So let me move. I have so much stuff here, which is fine. That's fine. Let me just scoot it out of the way. My husband, I ordered a pizza for my husband. So he's home. He's taking care of the dogs for me right now. I'm going to grab my little bitty tray here. Let's see. No, I don't even need that just yet. Let me just grab another piece of parchment. I don't want that one though. Let's grab this one. But anyway, so I ordered pizza for my husband. Let's see, December, January, February, March, April, May, 5 months. For those of you who know me, you may know I had surgery back in December. I had my gallbladder removed, and we used to eat out pretty regularly, like fast food restaurants or, just restaurants outside of eating at home. Well, anyway, the last time that we had fast food was December 17th. And so this is kind of a big deal for my husband to have pizza. And for me, I still haven't eaten out. So it's just been better for me during my recovery time. Like during this recovery time, it's been a rough road, but but it is what it is. I'm just, I'm grateful for where I am today. So we'll just see how that goes. But anyway, so I ordered pizza for him, and it came just before we got started. So my dogs are in, like, they don't get it, but they're like staring at him. So anyway, they're happy to be in there. So yeah, Joe, he did make it home. I was happy. So, because as soon as I got home, Honey was just barky. But you know, for those of you that have dogs, and as you have dogs who get older, Teddy turned 12 in January, and Honey turned 13 in March. And Honey doesn't hear so good, and I can see changes in Teddy, which really hurts my heart, makes me sad. But anyway, so Honey is very, as we say, she's needy. She needs you to hold her paw. So she will start to bark if, like, she's hungry, or she wants to go out, she wants a treat, or she just wants you to, like, be with her, or if she wants to go to bed. Like, she'll bark and, like, you'll put her in her bed and then she's content. So anyway, so he is home taking care of them. I'm going to grab my resin. It's behind me. And then I'm going to grab a little cup. So let me grab. So I like using these cups. I actually bought new ones. I haven't used the new ones yet. These are the ones I'm used to. But anyway, I love using the cups with the measurements on it. Especially if you're using resin, it just makes your life so much easier. Especially resin really needs to be if you're doing deep pour, mine is 2-to-1 ratio, but I'm just using the regular resin, so it's an equal parts. But anyway, it just makes your life so much easier. So these are the ones I'm used to, and these are the ones that I just ordered. They were similar in price, but you got like twice the amount. So I thought I'd try these. So, but anyway, I'm still accustomed to these. So I'm going to try the new one. And let me grab, I've got my A and my B. And I'll put on my other glove too. So it was so funny. So Eileen, you'll get a kick out of this. So Eileen was talking, and she was doing her craft. She's doing her project. She didn't wear gloves. And she was talking about how it's messy and how Betsy wears gloves, which I do. But it was so funny because I commented on hers, and then it was not even like 10 minutes went by and I was getting my stuff ready. And we're going to be using this colorant here in a little bit by the So Strong brand. It's a urethane color system. And anyway, so the red had not been opened yet. So I opened it, had to use a razor knife to open it. I didn't have gloves on. But anyway, so I used the razor knife and I opened it up. It has like a seal on it. And I put the little seal down on a paper towel, and I was like, oh, we're good. I didn't have gloves. Everything's good. Well, anyway, I was cleaning up and then getting more supplies out. And I picked up that paper towel and I went to throw it away. And when I did, it kind of stuck to me. And then I took my other hand and I looked, and both hands, no lie, both hands had red all over them. It looked like it was blood. Like, it looked like I cut myself. So of course, you know me, silly me, likes to be joking around. I go into my husband and I'm like, look what happened. And he, you know, first had the shock on his look, and then he was like, you didn't cut yourself, did you? I'm like, no, I didn't. But anyway, it was so funny. Well, then I could get like the surface off, but my hands are stained. So I was like, I should have listened to Eileen. I should have had those gloves on, even throwing that away. Like, that was a necessity. So okay, so I'm going to use my little cup. We're just going to do one of the cheesecakes, and I'll give you a sneak peek. You might even see them down here in this camera. So I have them done in stages. So anyway, so this cheesecake is ready for the strawberries, and then the resin is going to be our sauce. So I'm only going to make up like an ounce. So it's not going to be a lot for this, but I'm going to start with, and because this one is like a 30-40 minute work time for this brand, and I'll hold up the brand for you. This is the one I'm using. You can use any resin. You don't need deep pour. Like, that's not necessary. Okay, do I want to do more? I'm thinking what else we're doing tonight. Do I need more resin? Because it's like, it's going to take me a while to let it get to the point where it's ready. So I don't think so. Okay, I don't think so. We're just going to do the one cheesecake. I think this is the only one. Let me make sure. Nope, we're not putting it in the pie pan. Okay. I'm going to hold it up so that I can see it on here a little bit better. Okay. All right. Whoopsie. And then I didn't bring paper towels in either. And so if you do use the resins, don't use the same paper towel to wipe it off. use a different one. Otherwise, they will stick together. Okay, hang on just a second. Okay, and I got more than I wanted, but it'll be okay. All right, so let me stick these back over here. I've got supplies on the floor for my workshop. So the workshop is coming on Sunday. For those of you who may not have heard yet, I'm doing a workshop on Sunday, May 26th, and it'll be from noon until 8 p.m., and that's Eastern Standard. And it's called Life's a Picnic. So we're going to be doing all kinds of fun picnic type foods, kind of patriotic as well, because a lot of us that do picnics are kind of like 4th of July picnics, and we've got Memorial Day coming. So, hey, Cecilia, welcome in. So we've got a really fun workshop coming. If you have not registered, it's not too late to register. It's $28. There's going to be, I can't really tell you how many tutorials there are going to be. I have so many in process. But we're going to have a minimum of 6. We'll just say that. Okay. But anyway, it's $28. I will put the link below this, this video if you guys are interested and you want to sign up. It is going to be recorded, so it'll be available for replay. So if you're not able to attend, you can still sign up. And then you would just catch us on replay. So let's see. Oh, Janae says, how much resin did you pour? Okay, so I was going to do 1 ounce, and I got too much, and we have 2 ounces. So I'll hold it up here in the camera. You can see. So I have 1 ounce of, it's not clearing up. I actually have 1 ounce of A and 1 ounce of B. I only wanted 1 ounce altogether. But anyway, so now we're going to have extra. So I'm going to have to think about what I want to do with this. So we're making, okay, so we're doing the cheesecake. We're doing a pie. And I also have a third one ready that I was going to do a white drizzle. We might end up doing the red strawberry drizzle. So there you go. So, okay, no, I think it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. I'm going to go straight from the cheesecake to, we're doing a hand pie. So we're going to do a cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake. We're going to do a hand pie now that I have too much resin. We're not wasting it. And then I also have a little pie, like a little tin that we're going to do pie in. Okay, so anyway, so the A and the B is mixed. And then now I'm going to add some colorant. So I'm going to take this glove off. I got it on here a little bit. Yeah, Eileen says she's so excited for the workshop. Me too. So I shared a sneak peek. So funny, strawberries again. And I didn't bring it in here this evening. I should have. Well, I might end up grabbing it since it's strawberry night, apparently. It'd be so funny, Mary, if you do strawberries too tonight. Like, we did not know. I did not know Eileen was doing them. She didn't know I was doing them. So it's super funny that we're both doing them. So that just shows you it's very popular right now. My hand didn't want to go in here. Oh, Janae says you could also pour your extra resin in a mold. Yes, that's a good idea too. And that's usually what I teach you guys in the membership is that whenever you're working with resins or plaster of Paris, make sure you have like a silicone mold handy, even if it's not what your project is about or you're not working on it. And then that way, we don't want to waste it. So again, you could just pour it in. You could just pour it in there. Okay, so I'm going to do a strawberry color for mine. I'm going to leave my, okay, so y'all, you know I always tease you all. It's the only time I get quiet is when I'm counting. So hang on. Okay, so I'm doing 10 drops of the red. Hey, you know what else I forgot? Let me switch this really quickly. Oh, I've got red ink on this one. That's okay. I found, I mean, you'll get a kick out of this. So we've been cleaning and organizing as creators and creating new homes for our stuff. And then the downside of that is that we can't find stuff because it's no longer where it originally was. But anyway, look, I found these plastic stir sticks that came in my resin. And I love them for if you are, I'm going to pull this one out. I love it if you are using like the resin colorant where you are doing like the drops like I am, because what happens, and I learned this from experience, is if you use, like this is a popsicle stick, but it's wood. So if you use a popsicle stick to stir up your colorant, And whether it's in resin or it's in the clear silicone, if that colorant gets on the popsicle stick, then the colorant gets absorbed into that, and then you don't have, like I'm doing 10 drops of red, and I'm also doing 4 drops of the coffee color out of this set. But if I use the wooden stir stick, then it will stick to my, it could stick to my popsicle stick, and I wouldn't get the exact color that I'm looking for. Hang on. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so I didn't think about it until it happened to me the other day. Okay, and then I'm just going to stir these up. All right, so for me, I'm going to use a red, and then I did a dark brown to get this strawberry color that I'm after. And then I'll hold it up and show it to you. But I mean, you could use any color. So here's what my strawberries are going to look like. My strawberry filling that we're going to put on our actual strawberries. So, oh, Joe says, I want that toothpick holder. Could you tell me what store you found it at? Okay, well, did you see the other side of it? I don't know if you did. Here, I'll hold it up and share it because I love it. It's a Ray Dunn toothpick holder. It says pick me. And I have this out here. This is actually, I have to be careful. I don't want any ink on it. This is actually from my kitchen pantry, like my kitchen cabinet. But I needed toothpicks, and I have another toothpick holder that I use for in here that's like a shaker. And it has toothpicks. I just shake them out, and I couldn't find it. And I'm like, I need that. But anyway, so at the time when, now she definitely wants one. When I bought it, I either got it at Home Goods or TJ Maxx at the time. Now I would say your best place to maybe find it would be to look on like Mercari. Like if you've been on that app, they have a lot of people sell their Ray Dunn on that app. Okay, I've got this mixed up. Let me grab my phone really quick. I have, oh good, here we go. All right, I have a timer. There we go. Okay, and then let me come back to y'all. I wanted to, there we go. I want to set my timer so that way I'm just going to do it for 30 minutes, and then I'll come back to the resin so that we can move on. Okay. Hey, Margie. Oh, that's a great idea. Margie says when she's using the wooden stir stick, she coats them with the resin, and then she can use them over and over. That's a great idea. Yeah, I don't remember which one. I don't remember which one I was making, but it wasn't coming out the color that I wanted. And then I looked at my stick, and I saw all the ink was like absorbing into the stick. So now when I found this, I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm going to use this. So I got something in here that's not resin. Here. There we go. It was something white. I don't know what that was. Well, probably from my stir stick laying on my table. Okay, so we're just going to, this is the color so far. We're just going to leave this sit here. I'm going to move it aside, and then we're going to move on and do the cheesecake part. So, okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. Let me just, actually, I've got resin on here. So let me just move this. We're not even going to try to save this. Hang on. All right, and my puppies are not in here, so I don't have to worry about her right now. Okay, so then what we're going to do next, okay, and this is where I was grabbing my little tray. I want my little mini tray. Okay, so I'm going to use a mold. Hang on one second. Joe says, found it. Oh, you found it. And they have a few of them. It was a set with the salt and pepper shaker. Oh, I don't remember that part of it. Yeah, check the prices. That's what I was going to say. If you find it on Mercari, don't grab the first one. Scroll through and check them, because some prices, some people are very like, they want to help you add to your collection, and they're very reasonable prices. Other people are like, I really am going to charge, like overcharge for this because I can. So anyway, so check through them before you order. But yay, I'm glad you found it. It is super cute. I'll hold it up again. So yeah, and I think there's even other sayings besides pick me. I think you might. Oh, good. She says she shops on there all the time. Me too. I didn't buy anything, but I was looking on there earlier today. What was I looking for? I don't know. I was on eBay, which I did buy stuff on, and then I was over there on Mercari. Okay, so we are going to do, I was going to say, so I'm using a silicone mold for my cheesecake, and then I have them in stages. So we're going to pour the plaster of Paris, and I'm actually using perfect plaster. I know I say this all the time. I just buy the big bags, and then did I bring it in here? No, I was going to show you what the bag looked like. Anyway, I buy the big bags of perfect plaster, and then I just recycle, like my can, my little container, not a can, my little plastic container. So it says plaster of Paris, but it's not. It's not. Like, but you can use plaster of Paris. I just really like using. I really like using the perfect plaster. I tell you guys in my membership all the time, it's just so much more forgiving. And I really like it for that. So it's like if I put too much water, I can add more of the perfect plaster. If I put, not enough, I can water it down and thin it out. And then the final product still looks really good. Like it still sets up and it does really well. Whereas plaster of Paris, it's just not as forgiving. Like that's the best way I can explain it. It's not as forgiving, and it can get very crumbly. So, Janae, so I think, oh, and you're in the membership. So Janae, I think, so for those of you in the membership, we have some partners that offer my members discounts. And I think this is from Ginger. I think I got it from her shop a long time ago. But anyway, I'll check for you. So if you're in the membership, we call them our frosting friends, and they're just our partners that support us in our business and give our members exclusive discounts. So anyway, so I'll look for you. If not, you guys, for those of you watching that are not in the membership, you're like, well, I want that. Where'd you get that? You can just search for a cheesecake mold on Etsy. Some of them are listed as soap molds, and then others you can find them under silicone mold. Like you can just kind of check that way. So, okay, so for this one, I'm using, mine did not come with plastic scoops, but I have 2 of them that I use, and they're like 1 ounce each. For those of you watching, I know I'm on my business page, so I was a health coach and a fitness trainer, and so when I had my business, Concrete and Iron, I did drink a lot of protein shakes because I was training a lot and teaching a lot of classes. We were open 7 days a week, and I worked 7 days a week. So anyway, so I drank a lot of protein shakes like in between my training sessions. And so what these little scoops are is when I would buy like my protein powder shake mixes, they would come in it, and I just saved them. So anyway, you could use any little scoop, but that's what I'm using. So anyway, on the perfect plaster, and same with plaster of Paris, it's 2 to 1. So I'm going to use 2 parts of the plaster of Paris, and then I'm going to add 1 part of water. I've got my mason jar. I did not grab my little, I have like a smaller little, like a pitcher that I normally use, and I didn't. So I'm going to just pour it over. We're going to pour it over this and see if I make a mess. Hopefully not. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. So again, I did 2 parts of the plaster of Paris and then 1 part of the water. And this is just room temperature water. And then I'm going to use a spoon here and stir this up. Okay. And then my mold, it just looks like this. I'm just going to pour the silicone, or not silicone, sorry. I'm going to pour the plaster of Paris into my silicone mold. And then you're not going to do anything. You're not going to move it. You're just going to let it set up. Now, it is kind of thick, like it's about 1 inch or so thick. So it's going to take a little bit for it to start to set up and harden. But within like a day or 2, you can go ahead and demold it and then let it finish curing the rest of the way. And one of the ways that you can tell that it's getting cured, like is that when you first pour your plaster of Paris or your perfect plaster, it has a very gray shade to it. I'll show you. It's kind of hard to see on camera. But anyway, so what I always tell you guys is when whatever it is that you're making, if you're making it out of plaster of Paris, when it becomes light and white, then you know that it's cured and that all the moisture is starting to evaporate out of it. When it feels really heavy and it still has that gray tint to it, then it's still got a lot of moisture on the inside that needs to evaporate. Okay. All right. So you're just going to stir it until it's combined. And I've got my timer going, so we're still good. Okay, good. It minimized, and so I can still see it on the screen. So, okay. So I'm just, my hair. It's in my face, in my mouth. Okay. So, and then I'm just going to pour it into the mold. Just like that. And then what I do is, because it is a pie shape, you just want to take your, like your spoon or whatever it is you're stirring it up with, and just make sure that it goes down into all those corners. You don't want to demold it and find like you're missing, like, you know, a part of your little cheesecake. Okay. So normally if I wasn't live, I'd go in and I'd rinse this out, and then I'd reuse this cup. But I don't want to stop what we're doing, so I'm just going to take it out best I can, use up what I can, and then I'm just going to set this aside. So I'm going to set it over there. Okay. Then I always recommend, when you're doing silicone molds, like just tap your mold on your table, and then what that does is it'll bring the air bubbles to the top. The thing about the molds are, this is actually the bottom. Okay, so when you demold it, this is the bottom that looks like this, and then we're going to flip it over, and then you'll see the actual look of the cheesecake. Okay, so you don't have to worry too much about the bottom, and especially for these, we're going to be coating ours to make it look like graham cracker crumbs. But anyway, so I'm just going to leave it here, and then we're going to set that aside. So let me scooch that, move my little things. I'm going to move it in front of me for now, and then if it's in the way, I'll move it again. Okay, because I got a lot of stuff on my table tonight. All right, let's give this a little stir again. You can tell when your resin, like mine's already getting thick, but we're good. It's only been 10 minutes since we added the colorant and stirred it up together. Okay, so next we're going to color our cheesecakes. All right, I'm going to leave, there we go. All right, so the colors that I'm using for mine are, I'm using the apple barrel and the antique white, and then I'm also using the Delta cream coat and antique white. I'm using two different brands, and they're both antique white. You can use any color you want to color your cheesecake. I just found that I really liked the look of this. I'm going to grab my scale, and then I'm going to mix them half and half. And then we're going to paint this one. And then I have one done, and we'll add the graham cracker crust. And then hopefully by then our resin will be set up, and we can start to do our little strawberry topping. Okay, so I'm going to zero that out. And then what I'm going to do is shake these up. And again, I'm just doing equal parts. So I'm going to squeeze 2, I think. We'll do 2. Okay. I'm going to do 2 of that one and 2 of this one. Okay, you don't have to use these colors. If you have other colors, or if you've made cheesecake and you have a preference, like if you like the colors you're using, please, by all means, use those colors. You don't have to feel like I've got to go out and buy these. I just like to share with you. Again, I make recipes for everything that I make, so I always like to share with you, like, what are the colors, what are the items that I'm using for mine. Okay, we're going to do that. I'm going to grab a tiny popsicle stick and just stir them together. Okay, and then I'm just going to use a paintbrush to paint this. I just want to stir it all together really good. And then, see, I need another, yeah, here we go. Perfect. I've got paint on there. Okay, so with this particular mold, I got paint on there, so I'm going to wipe it on my cheesecake so I don't waste it. With this particular mold, you'll see like the back of it has texture where we're going to be putting the graham cracker crumbs, and then also on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint the top and then the 2 sides. Okay, let me grab a paintbrush. Let me see. I was hoping for a bigger one. I don't see one. Let me grab one down here. I have some more. Oopsie. Okay, I wanted a bigger one. This one will do. Okay, I found some paintbrushes. Again, I was cleaning. Okay, so I'm going to use a wider one just so that it goes quicker instead of being tiny. All right, so if you do get it on there, that's fine. But when we go to do the graham cracker crust, we're going to be painting it color and then adding the sand. Okay, so that's why I felt like it's not necessary to paint the entire thing with this creamy cheesecake color, because we're already going to be painting it. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it's just not necessary because you're going to be painting it in a different shade. You're still painting it, it'll just be in a different shade. Okay, all right, And then I am wearing gloves because it is messy. Well, at least by me wearing gloves, I can hold it and not worry about it getting it on me. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go over, like I said, all the sides. Well, both sides. There's only two sides. We're not doing the bottom and we're not doing the back of it. So I don't know if you can tell in this light what color it is, but you can see it just comes out a very nice cheesecake color. Okay. And then the same with on the back here. I did get more color, way more paint than I needed for this. I have little containers. Well, I do two things. I have little containers that I will transfer the paint into that has like a little screw on lid, and then that saves it for next time. And then I just take my Sharpie marker and then I mark on it. But if I don't do that, what I'll do is I'll just grab a sandwich bag, write on the sandwich bag what the color is, and then put that in the sandwich bag. So that way we're not wasting it. Okay. All right. So there you go. So here we go for this. Got a little bit more on top. Okay. And then that's it for this. We're going to do 2 coats. I don't know if I said that. We're going to do 2 coats. So you want to just do your first coat, like a base coat, let that dry thoroughly, and then you're going to come back and do a second one. Okay, so I'm going to stick it over here. So those are my wet ones. And then this one is my finished cheesecake, but we're going to do the graham cracker crumbs now. So I'm going to keep the same brush, but let me rinse it off. All right, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I know I'm kind of talking and going. So I got 15 minutes on my resin. So, and it's not, I mean, I set the timer a little bit early, but I did combine it. I'm going to move this over here. I did combine it before I added the colorant, so it kind of has a few minutes ahead of me. So we're about right. Okay, let me stick that there. Let's stir it up again just to make sure. Okay, and the reason that we're waiting, if you do it too soon, it's just going to run off. Like it's going to be too thin and it's just going to run everywhere. If you wait until it's almost to the end of that window, that 30 to 40 minute window, then what happens is it gets thicker. And I don't know if I mentioned to you, I'm using these little Dollar Tree cups to pour my paint into. It just makes it easy. I don't put my paintbrushes directly into any of my paint containers because I don't want to get, I don't want to contaminate them, right? Okay, so I'll just do that. Okay, so I've got a little bit of this one. Where's my other one? Where did I go with it? Did I move it off? I don't see it. I have 2. So this one is the coffee latte. Oh, here it is. And then this one is, what is it? Natural beige. There we go. Okay. So I'm not measuring these. I'm just going to squirt them in here. Just equal parts also. Like that. So you'll see it's 2 colors. Okay. And then we'll mix those together. So we just want a nice light shade for our graham cracker crust. Okay. All right. And then, oops, before I even do that, I forgot to tell you. So hang on one second. There's 3 of them. Hang on. I need raw sienna. Okay. We're also using the raw sienna. I just remembered. I did 3 for this one. Let me open up the label. Here we go. Okay. So I'm using raw sienna, the coffee latte, and then the other one's called natural beige. And I'll hold them up again. Anyway, I was like, why is it not dark enough? So normally there we go. I needed it a little bit darker. There we go. Okay. I want it to be closer to my sand mixture, which is what we're using for the graham crackers. Okay. So there we go. That's better. So, there we go. My screen went off. So anyway, there we go. Okay. So we're using the brown paint mixture. And then I'm using, let me grab a paper plate and then I'll show you. I'm using a sand mixture that just looks like this. It's a couple different shades of brown sand, and then it's cinnamon. So it's like a light brown, a medium brown, and then a cinnamon. And so what we're going to do is I've got my Okay, so I got my, you could use any color brown. For this one, I'm using the 3 mixed together. And then once I do that, I'm using the Mod Podge and the matte. And so it's going to end up being equal parts. So that way, when you go to put your, so I'm just going to pour this in here. When you go to put your sand mixture on, it's not just sticking to paint, it's sticking to a paint and Mod Podge mixture. And then that helps keep that sand attached to your plaster of Paris cheesecake. Okay. All right. There we go. And then it looks like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the back of it just like this with my mixture. And then once I get it on there, and you want to put it on thick, I'm going to take a spoon, like a little plastic spoon, and then I'm going to sprinkle the sand mixture, which is the graham crackers, which is going to make it look like the graham cracker crumbs. Okay. So let me show you. Okay, and this is going on the back. So you'll see, looks like a graham cracker. Well, it's mimicking that. Okay. And then, let me move my paint over. I'm gonna grab this. Okay, and then I'm just taking it. I'm using a paper plate, so anything that falls, I can put it right back into my container. Okay. All right. So then you'll see it looks more like a graham cracker crumb. Okay, now some of that not salt, some of the cinnamon is cinnamon's very like dusty, lightweight. It will get on your cheesecake, but once you do it and it dries, because you're going to do 2 coats of the sand mixture, once it dries, then you can just blow it off, like it'll come right off. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the bottom. But before I do the bottom, what I like to do is I like to take my paintbrush and just do a tiny line on the bottom of the cheesecake. And I'll show you what I mean. Just so that way it looks like the cheesecake. I don't want it to just look like it's on the bottom. So I'm going to show you. Okay, so I go like this and I just paint a small line here. Leave that there. And then sprinkle the sand mixture. There you go. And then let me hold it. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the side when you don't do that. And then here it is when you do it this way. It just gives it more of a realistic look to it. And then we're going to do the bottom too. Okay. So I'm just going to hold it. I'm just going to paint a line. It doesn't need to be perfect. As a matter of fact, you all know I teach this all the time. I really, my goal and my passion is to teach you how to make realistic looking food. So I want them to look more lifelike. My goal is not to teach you how to make something to look perfect. And the reason is because I don't want it to look like it came out of a machine and that they all look exactly the same. Now, I do like when things are consistent. So you all know that's why I do my recipes, is I want the color to be consistent. I want this, the sizes, the materials, that kind of thing to be consistent. But that's the same as if you were baking. Like if you were baking a dozen cookies and you wanted to make 12 cookies, it's like you're going to use a cookie mix that's going to make 12 cookies, right? Okay, so you'll see how it kind of stuck to the side here. But again, once it dries, you're going to do a second coat and then you can just blow it off. Okay, and then the last is I just hold it in my palm like this, and then we're just going to paint the bottom. So this is the other reason why I like to use these little plastic cups, is because now if I get any of that cinnamon mixture in my paint, it's not contaminating my whole little container of paint. Okay, and you're going to put it on pretty thick. Even though you're going to make 2 coats, you want it to stick, and the sand is heavier than the cinnamon. So when you do pour it on there, okay, and that's all I need for that. When you do pour it on there, I want the sand to be on there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't want all the cinnamon to stick and then not sand. Because generally, my hair is just like in my mouth. Generally, if we do sprinkles and we do like glitter, which is really fine, I always tell you, put the bigger pieces on first, like you would put your glitter on first, and then like the finer glitter. It's kind of the same, even though I do have sand mixed up into this. It just gives it a really nice look. So you'll see now it looks like graham cracker crumbs. Okay, so after you do I'm going to do 2 coats. And then after I do 2 coats, I'm coming back in with the Mod Podge in the mat. And then you want to coat the entire cheesecake, not just the graham cracker crumbs, but the cheesecake part of it and the graham cracker part. Okay. And then because this is wet, I'm going to set it down on my tray like this, upside down. Okay. And then that way, I'll move that out of the way. I'm going to pour my sand mixture, and then I'm going to catch up with comments. And then we're going to also check on the resin. Okay, so pour that back into there. All right, and then this one is ready to go. So you'll see I've already got it. It's all put together, and it's ready to go. So let me check up with comments. Joe says, oh, my fur babies are trying to eat your pie piece. They're licking my screen. They won't stay off my desk. That's funny. That's really cute. They're so sweet. And then Joe also says, well, you have to seal the cracker part when it dries. Yes, yes, yes. I just use the Mod Podge in the mat. Like, what it does is it locks in all that sand and the paint and the cinnamon. It kind of locks it in. And then also, I always recommend whenever you're doing something with Mod Podge, or not Mod Podge, plaster of Paris, you want to seal it, especially if you paint it. You don't want it to chip off and then have that exposed, like the plaster of Paris part exposed, because especially if you sell these items and you don't know where they're going, you don't want, like if you sell it to somebody and their temperature or their humidity is higher than where you're at, we don't want any issues with it. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to chuck this again. My timer says 5 minutes, which is perfect. Okay. So it's still too thick. I mean, it's still too runny. It's getting thick. So yeah. Okay. So I'll hold these up. Okay, so now we have the one in the plaster of Paris here. I've got the one that we painted, and then the other one was already painted, and we just added the graham cracker crust on the bottom of it. And then now we have this one. Let me move. I gotta move my mouse for a second. I need a wipe. There we go. All right, I'm gonna use the same, I'll move that. I'm gonna use the same little piece of parchment, but I had dropped a little bit of paint on it and I didn't want to use it. Okay, so this is all ready to go, but we need to get our strawberries ready. Okay, so I'm using strawberries from, these are just from Hobby Lobby. I don't have the tag anymore, but they just come in like this netting bag, but you could use any kind of strawberries that you wanted. Okay, so I'm just going to grab, and these strawberries, if you do use them, they come in different sizes. So I have larges. I think I already separated these. Yeah. Okay. So I have larges in one. I have larges in one bag. I had 2 bags. So I have larges in one and smaller ones in the other. Let me hold them up and I'll show you. So you'll see if you get this brand from Hobby Lobby, you'll see they come in different sizes. I'm actually going to be using the smaller strawberries instead of the really big one. I just feel like proportionate wise, this looks, the larger one is a bit big, right? So the smaller one looks much better. Okay, so let me, I'm gonna put these in the big bag. And then I have another, oh wait, I do have another bag. Let me show you real quick. All right, so if you get these from Hobby Lobby, this is how they come. They're in a bag that has 2 sizes, and they're $6.99 in the floral department, unless you get them on sale. And whenever they are on sale, I do stock up. And I recommend you do too. Like if you're going to be purchasing them anyway, you might as well save money on them. So, okay, some of these I was using for another project, and so some of them have pieces out of them. So, okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to take this one strawberry, and okay, so I'm going to take my razor knife here. I'm going to grab this. I've got my glue gun, and then I've got my little marble tray here. I'm going to grab my razor knife, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my strawberry, and I'm going to cut it down the middle. I want 2 halves. Okay, so just if you do cut them, just be careful. I don't want you to cut yourself. Okay, so now we've got 2. I don't think, oh, I didn't cut it all the way. Let me turn it this way. Okay, then I'm going to slide them in half. Okay, so I want 2 halves like this. Okay, and then it's up to you if you want to leave the green part on the strawberry when you finish it or if you want to take it off. I'm going to put a couple strawberries. Well, not a couple. We're going to do one. I think we're just going to do one. Let me move that. Okay. All right. So, okay. I think we're just going to do one. All right. So what I do with my strawberries, whenever I cut them, they have styrofoam in the middle of them. So what I do is, sorry, I'm out of your way. I just want to grab my markers. You can use any marker that you want. I just thought I'd share exactly what I'm using. So I'm using the Silly Scent markers. They do not stay scented, so you don't need to buy that kind. But anyway, I'm just using the red one, the cherry marker out of this package. And then what I do is when I cut my strawberries in half, I just take that marker and wear gloves if you know, just so that way you're not getting the marker on you. And what I do is I color the inside of my strawberry. If a little bit stays white, that's okay. You just want to do your best, like to coat it, get it completely covered. And then I'll show you. And that's because even though we're coating this in resin, if the bottom side shows at all, I want to be able to see, I don't want you to see white, because even though you're coating it with resin, you would see white, like it will not hide it. So, okay, so there's that half. I'm going to leave my green stem on mine. And then I'm just coating it just like this. Like I said, you could use any red marker. I just grabbed this one. This is the ones that I've been using, so that's why we're using it. So, and again, I'm just coloring it in. If you see any white though, it's fine, because if you were to open, cut open a real strawberry, you are going to see a little bit of white. Okay. All right, so those two I have coated with the marker. All right, and then I'm going to move it off of this. I'm going to leave, oh good, it's starting to set up. Let's do this. I'm going to move these because I want the resin, when I pour the resin, I want it on a tray so that if it makes a mess, there we go. If it makes a mess, I want it contained on the tray. Okay. All right. So let me dismiss that and we're going to check our resin. Okay. Still quite a bit runny. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay. So when we do put the resin on it, I'm going to put some resin down first. Then I'm going to stick my strawberries on it. And then I'm going to pour more resin over top of it. And so I'm actually going to let my resin drip off the side of the strawberries here. I was trying to think. I do probably need to grab, what do I need? I'm looking around. What do I have? This is going to be too much resin for this. And I was thinking I could use it for a drizzle, but the other one's not ready. So that's not going to be an option. But anyway, so I am going to leave my the green stem on this one, and then I'm just going to layer mine just like on top there. Anyway, let me look in here. What do I have that I could quickly add my resin to? I don't know. Sorry, I usually, like I said, I like to have extra. I have some molds over here. I just wasn't planning. I wasn't planning on pouring too much resin, and I did. So, okay, here, how about this? I'm going to grab this. This is a lollipop thing. So, do I have my, yeah. I'm going to grab this too. All right. Put that in there. Trying to see if I had something else that I'd prefer. Let me see. Oh, wait. Okay. Well, I saw some winter ones. So I'm like, oh, a red hat would be cute. Okay. I don't know if I can reach the lollipop sticks. Let me see. Okay. All right. I'm going to scooch this back here. Oh, I need to put my sticks in there, don't I? Okay. So I might need a bigger tray. Let me turn it this way. All right, we'll just leave. Actually, I don't want to do lollipops. See how we are as crafters and creators? We change our mind on a whim. I don't really want to do that one. Let me see. These are not my normal molds, but let's see. I just don't want to waste my stuff. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Let me see what else is in this drawer. I can't get the whole drawer out. Move that. Sorry. Okay. These are molds I don't use very often. So they're not like my normal molds that I would be using. But, okay. I just don't want one that takes up that much space. Okay, we'll figure it out. I'm not going to worry about it. So, okay, let me bring this back. Let me check our resin. I should do a baby candy apple. That'd be amazing. I don't see any apples in here that are nearby. Oh, well. Okay. That's fine. Okay. I'm like, wonder if I wanted to do this one. Okay. This one I've done the cheesecake twice, but not the graham cracker. Let's do that. Let's just wing it, right? Sometimes we do that. Let me cut this one in half and then color it. I'm going to do 2 of the cheesecakes. Wasn't my plan originally, but might as well. So let me grab my razor knife back so we can cut these in half. Okay, so the cheesecake that I just put the graham cracker on, the cheesecake is done. The graham cracker needs a second coat. And then I do need to coat it in Mod Podge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the strawberry and the resin. And then when that is cured, I will come back in and then I can still put the Mod Podge on it. Okay. So I'm just going to do it in reverse a little bit. Okay. I just think that's the best way. I really didn't care for the molds, and I didn't really want to do lollipops. I don't even know where my sticks are, and it's like you can't, if you're going to pour resin into a lollipop mold, you got to have a lollipop stick. You can't just do it without, because then you can't stick it back in there, right? All right. So yeah, so see, this is real life, real time. This is what happens. Sometimes we can't find our stuff. Sometimes we make more than we want. Sometimes we just have to go with the flow and adjust. And that's okay. It's all part of this creative process. And I'm not mad. I'm okay with that. Okay, so color that one. Leave that right there. And now color this one. But again, if you don't want to leave like the green part of the stem on yours, you can take it off. Like it doesn't have to stay on there. I'm going to leave mine, but you don't have to. Okay. All right. So I was going to tell you, when you cut these strawberries, if you cut them in half like I did, the styrofoam on the inside tends to want to like crumble away. Now, if you cut them like slice them up like this, like long ways, the styrofoam inside, it cuts through them in a different way, like it's cross cut through the grain, and they do really well. So just so you know, like if you don't want to cut them in halves and you wanted to do like pieces, I would cut them up long ways first and then cut those in half or into like 3 pieces each or something. Okay, I think that's it. All right, so we are going to put these together, and you know I gotta have them all the same. So wait, let me put this over here. Okay, let me check our resin. All right. And then I would say if you're working with resin, definitely set a timer. Like, don't rely on just watching the clock, because sometimes what will happen is you may wait too long and then it will seize up and then you can't use it. I'm going to just shake this off into my garbage right here. Okay. That cinnamon was starting to kind of come off and I didn't want it to. So, okay. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that was on there. Oh, there's a little styrofoam ball. Okay, now I did go ahead and use marker on these, and more than likely you're not going to see the other side, but I'm just used to doing that whenever I do my strawberries for my strawberry desserts. And then just in case you do, like you can't go back if you don't put marker on it or paint or something to color in that white styrofoam, you can't go back later. Like once your resin is on there, you just can't. So, all right. So once I do the resin, you'll see it's going to go on top of both of them. And this still may be way more resin for both of these, but oh well, it is what it is. Okay, let me scooch some of those out of the way. That's strawberry. All right, so if you guys have any questions, just let me know. So let me make sure. Okay, cool. All right. So you can see it's definitely getting thicker. It's definitely getting thicker, so I'm happy. You just need to also know your resin. Like, I'm going to take a drink of water. Some of my resins, like let's say it has like a 40-minute work window, and like at 41, 42 minutes, it's like done. Like some of them seize up like really fast, and others it's like you can kind of see it coming. So just be aware of what kind of resin you're using and how much time you have from the time you mix it up until you, pour it into whatever you're using it for. All right. So yeah, so I'm loving it because you can see it's getting much thicker, but not quite there. And then, okay, so originally I was going to make 1 ounce and pour 1 ounce onto my little cheesecakes. And I ended up making 2 ounces because I poured 1 ounce of the A instead of doing like a ½ ounce where I intended to. So anyway, so even at 1 ounce, this still may be like more resin than you want for your cheesecakes. Because what happens is when it drips off, it'll run next to it, but sometimes it will still go like underneath of it. So just be aware of that. Like if you're making yours, like if you don't want it to go underneath of it, then I would wait as long as possible if you can. So hey, welcome. I see we have a Dellen, Florida. Is that how you pronounce it? Dellen? I feel like it's Dellen. I'm not sure. So yeah, you guys watching, let me know where you're from. I love meeting new friends and I love seeing where everybody's at. We are in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am towards the southern part of Ohio. So we are very near the tri-state of Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. So yeah, love to know where you all are from, and then I can say hi. So thanks for sharing that. Okay, so we are getting there. It's almost ready. And I am going to switch and grab a spoon when I go to scoop it onto my little cheesecakes. It's getting there. The other thing is that resin is a chemical reaction, so you can feel like the cup is getting warm, like from me touching it right now, which is fine. But just letting you know, like, if you're new to resin, like that's normal. Like resins, as I said, it's a chemical reaction. Once you mix A and B, then the clock starts. So just keep that in mind too. If you put like A or B in by itself, and then you add your colorant before you add the other part, then your time starts once you add the two together. So if you're just doing the colorant and you're playing around with colors, but you haven't added both of them, you don't need to start, your timer until after you put them together. Okay. All right. So it is getting thicker. Not quite. I don't think it's thick enough. I think it's still going to run off because you can see how it's very like still runny, but it's thick. So I can tell by seeing it on my new little stir stick, which I am loving. It's kind of nice. Okay. So even though that's ready, I'm going to switch with my spoon. I'm going to take this out. And let me set that over here. Okay, I'm going to switch with my spoon because I want to be able to grab it out of the spoon. Okay, it's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my spoon. I'm going to pour it onto my cheesecake. Oh yeah, this is great. And then I'm going to stick my pieces in it. Just like that. And I'm going to be drizzling it over top of them as well. Okay, let me get this one first. So I'm going to just stick it on here. Oh yeah, I'm hoping you can see this. So this is really thick. So I'm super happy it's not running off. I mean, it is going to run off, but it's not really runny yet. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's not super runny yet. Okay. And then I am going to pour it over top of my strawberries like this because we want to make sure that it seals them. Put some over on this one. And then I'm just going to drizzle it. So I want to make sure that my strawberries are coated in that resin, just so that way it looks, you know, like a strawberry glaze. Like that's what I'm aiming for. Move my little green. I want it to get underneath the little green stem. Is that what you call it? Okay. All right. This was the perfect amount of time. So I'm going to have to go back. I'll go back and check and see what time I started because I've already turned the timer off. And just see what it did. I'm dripping it here. Okay. Now, if you don't want the puddles, as soon as you pour yours on, you can lift it up and put it onto something else. But I'm okay with the puddles. Like I like the look of them. So I'm going to make it a little thicker on this side. A little thicker on this side. And then it looks like I've drizzled on mine in the front here. Can you see? So I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to go like this and just drizzle back and forth. Just to give it an extra little look. There. Can you see it? I'll try to hold it up. And I think I might do it behind it too because I've got all this extra resin. So let's do it behind it too. There we go. Right, let me get some more over here. So I'm kind of pouring it off first, just like I'm starting outside of my cheesecake. There we go. Just so that I get it. So I get those little lines, I guess is what I'm after. So, okay, so once this cures, then it will look a little bit different. I'm going to add a little bit more to the front. Let that drip down. A little bit more to that. Let that drip down. And I still have some that I hate to waste. I think I am going to pick mine up and move them to another one. I just feel like there's an awful lot dripping on here. But let's do this. Before I do that, since I know I'm going to move them, I'm going to add some more to the strawberries and then let those drip off because I'm not going to be able to use it anyway. So, okay. And then those will drip. Okay. All right. And then let me stick this over here. All right. Now, let me grab those little toothpicks. All right. I'm going to grab a new glove. So, oh, thanks, Margie. She said, love it. I'm going to move them to another one. It's just too much sauce for me right now. But the thing of it is the sauce is going to continue to drip until it really sets up and cures. So I think I want to move it, and then I'll show you what I do is I grab, my hands are sweaty, wiping them on my shorts. So, oh, I don't know if I can get them in this glove. I really am sweaty. That's what happens when you wear gloves for a while. Okay, so let's try to get this in here. All right, cool. All right, and then they're real stuck. Okay, and then you're going to let it set up overnight. Like you don't want to move it once you do get it situated. Let me see. Oh my goodness. I need powder probably or something. My customer likes a lot of running off, Jennifer said. Okay, good. I think I'm going to leave them. Oh my God, I can't even get these on my hands. Okay, I cannot. They just don't want to go. All right, I'm going to leave them like that, and then we'll see what happens. Because these gloves are like, no, they're not coming on. All right, well, anyway, let me lift them up, and then I'll share with you. Like, you'll see there's a lot of running. So, but anyway, they turned out really cute once they dry. Like I said, you could do any design that you wanted on them. This is just how it ended up for tonight. So, all right. So now that's, are we running into like 8 o'clock? Which, yay. Okay, 8:06. We're still good. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to move on, and we are going to do a strawberry pie. Okay, so I want to show you that with a different product. So let me turn them around a little bit too so you can see them. I think it's a little bit much, don't you think? You think I should leave them or I should move them to another one? Because it is still going to drip. Tell me what you think. Is it too much strawberry sauce? Tell me. And then I'll move them to another one if it is. Okay, Joe says they look so real. Jennifer said they look really cool on a plate. Eileen says love, love, love. Okay, I'm just going to leave them then. It's what it is, right? Okay. All right, I'm going to leave them, and where am I going to stick them? I've got my my patriotic cookie pie. Oh, thanks, Tammy. She said they look good. So I got my patriotic. Janae says I would move them. I know, that's what I think. I kind of feel like I should move them. All right, hang on. I just feel like I don't mind the puddling. I just feel like it's a lot of puddling. So, all right, hold on. My hands are not as sweaty. I don't even know if sweaty is the right word. Is that the right word when you put your hand in the gloves for a while? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna get another set of gloves. Sorry, I know I'm coming out of your view. I don't mean to. Those gloves I can't turn around. Okay. It's a lot for me too, she says. Okay. I think I'm going to move them because I'm going to show you. Once I move them, you can take a spoon and scoop up any extra if you feel like you need any additional puddling. All right. So, okay, I will say when I move them, the chances of them getting underneath is going to be increased, but I'm okay with that. So, all right. I was looking for another tray. Let me grab another tray real quick. Sorry, I know I'm out of your view, but okay, perfect. I have a drying rack over there, and I want to grab another tray. Okay, this is perfect. All right, let's fix them before we move on. Let me grab another piece of parchment. Oh, good, this will work. All right, cool. All right, I think they need to move. Let's see how we're going to do this. All right, I'm going to turn them this way. I'm going to grab them by the back. I just don't want to touch them where I'll ruin the little lines or anything. Okay. Okay. Whew, that was good. Okay, that's better, right? And then now what I'll do is it has a little bit of puddling. We'll grab that spoon. Oh, I already moved the spoon. I'm going to grab a new spoon, and then see, you can still grab some of that, only it's thick now. And then I'll just see if it wants to drip. That'll be better. And then we'll just have this will be good. Then we'll have a little bit of puddling coming off the sides. Okay. So I'm just going to do a scoop. And it's kind of a lot, but it's going to drip. Okay. And then I'll show you what that does. Okay. I like that better. But you can see, look how thick it got now. Like it's not that drippy runny like it was. Here, I'm going to turn it so I can show you what I'm doing. So we're going to stick this drip here. So I think you can see it. Yeah, I think that'll be better. And then if we do end up with more puddles, it's not as much. I'm going to set that down. Okay. I think that looks more realistic now. Let me scooch that. That's a smaller little puddle. Can you see it over here? And then on this side, I think that looks better. Don't you agree? And then that way it's like, it still looks like the drips, but that's kind of a lot. Like a lot. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little drip on this side too. It's almost too late, like it's really setting up, but I think I can. Yeah, as long as it drips, as long as it wants to drip off my spoon, it will continue to drip off my little cheesecake. So let me stick that there. And there we go. All right, perfect. There. And then you can see I added that extra little drip right here on this one. I'm trying to hold it in the camera better for you. Okay. All right, that's much, much better. Let's see. All right. I might add one drip to this side just to even it out. And then we're not going to worry about what's left on here. So yeah, resin can be tricky as far as like getting the exact amount. I didn't have these finished, so normally I'll make them ahead of time, and then I'll share with you like exactly. And then I'm letting this one drip right here, this one here. So yeah, okay. Thank you guys for sharing your thoughts with me and giving me your advice and your feedback and your opinions, because I think that looks much better. Okay, I am going to scooch this one. We'll put this on my drying rack and I'll deal with that later. That one doesn't have a silicone mat. This one does. But anyway, there you go. And I'll hold it in the big camera too. So yeah. Thank you guys. I think that looks better. Don't you agree? And then that way it's still going to puddle, but now it's just going to stay where it's at. Like that's it. So, okay. So we are going to, I'll leave this one here, but let me move these out of the way. Okay. And then now we'll do our little strawberry pie baby is what I'm calling it. Okay. So I'm actually going to move, let's move all this over to here so it's not in your way. And then we'll get more room on our table as well. Okay. Don't need these. I'm going to actually put that back on my shelf. Some things I know where they go. Not everything. Okay, so we're going to leave those there. And then you can kind of see them while we're working. So, all right. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little baby pie baby. Okay, so normally, first let me recap. Let me get a drink and then recap where we're at. And I'm going to take these off. I don't need these on for this part. And then that way my hands can dry out. Can you see how red they are? Let me hold them up this way. From where I got the ink, Eileen. Well, now that I've sweated, they don't look as bad. They were looking really bad, but they're not bad. Okay, they're okay. All right, let me take a drink. Okay, so we're going to do a little baby pie baby. Okay, and I'm using... I don't know it's a set of 4, but I don't know what size these are. Oh, there they are, 5-inch diameter. Okay. Hey, Nancy, welcome. Oh, good. Yeah, here, let me show you, love. So, yeah, so we just got these done. They had really big puddles, so if you watch on replay, you'll see we switched them. But I'm kind of glad that it happened that way because I want to show you guys, if you're making something and you get to the end and you're like, oh, I don't know if I really like that. Don't give up. Like, keep going. Keep thinking outside of the box and keep being creative. So that way it's like, you know, if you keep going, then you're going to come up with something you really do like. Okay. Oh, Eileen says I'm quiet because I'm making mini mugs. I turned it over to shake off diamond dust. You be careful with that diamond dust. I know how you are. You're going to end up with it all on the floor or your table or not in the jar. Okay, so I'm using these, and I'll put a link to these. I actually got these on Amazon. I've used these for a lot of my pies in the past. I've done other workshops. Oh, and then I'm going to catch you up on where we're at as well. But I've done other workshops where we did these, like, what was it? The S'more Fun workshop. We did a chocolate silk pie, and I used it for this. I used one of these for them. But anyway, so welcome back in. We are, my thing says waiting for live video. So hopefully you all, hopefully I'm still here with you all. Okay, now I see you again. So hopefully we're good. But anyway, so I wanted to welcome you back into the Cakery Creator Circle. This is our live crafting event. We do them weekly on Thursday evenings. There are 4 presenters that normally will come on for you guys. Our first one is Eileen from Creative Eye Designs by Eileen. And then the second one is Betsy. That's me. Heavens To Betsy Cakery is my business. And then usually following me up, I go on at 7, and then Barb follows me at 8, and Barb is with Creative Hearts Corner. And then following Barb is Mary from Hog Wild Designs. So if you are new to us, then welcome, welcome. You got me at 7, and you're going to get me at 8 as well for tonight. I'm filling in for Barb so that she can take some time off and spend with her family. She has a daughter that's graduating, and so that's exciting. And we just love you, and we miss you, but we hope you're having the best time ever, taking a little break. So anyway, so we go live on Thursday nights. Again, I'm Betsy, Heavens To Betsy Cakery, and I have a membership called the Cakery Content Club. And the 4 of us are, so it's my membership, and then I have 3 other members that I mentioned, and we all went together on a collaboration. And so we do live crafting every week on Thursday evenings. So I will tell you, with this being the month of May, the best month ever, by the way, I am going to be on vacation next week, and so we are all going to take a break. We each, we have been doing it. We started in April, and so next week, I still plan on posting something like a little special something for you all on Thursday evening. But anyway, so we will take a break next Thursday evening. So if you're looking for us, don't think we've disappeared for good. We're just going to have to miss on the 30th, and then we will be back on June 6th. Okay. Wanted to let you all know that, make that little announcement. But anyway, so let's get back to our crafting, because Mary's coming up after me at 9 o'clock. But anyway, so we're going to make a little strawberry pie with these little tins. And it says 5-inch in diameter. So I'm actually going to cut these. Oh, Margie says she's making fake bread. Oh, yay, yay, yay. Love that. Love our fake bread. Can you see mine? I have 2 little loaves up here. Let me just show you really quick. And I didn't bring in my strawberry shortcake, the sneak peek from our upcoming workshop. But anyway, so these were, we made these in the wooden spoons workshop. So I've got a little cinnamon loaf, and then I've just got this. It's kind of like a little sourdough kind of loaf. And then I dressed them up with the ribbons. So what I wanted to tell you about the ribbons, what's really fun is that I did have a green and white check ribbon on this one. And then I took it off and I switched it out for the red toned ribbon. And then because I have patriotic theme going on behind me, I dressed this one up with the little red, white, and blue, the red and blue stars on the white ribbon. But anyway, so I just want to share with you how fun it is. So when you're making breads, it's so easy to like dress them up and like go with different themes by just swapping out your ribbons. Like you can just add some accessories. So, okay, so we're going to start with our little pie tin. So, and it looks like this, just a little metal pie tin. But yeah, I love, love, love making the breads. It's so fun. Okay, I'm going to stick these down here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is, let me grab my glue gun. I'm going to, do I want the glue gun first? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do 2 things. I am going to, again with this one, I'm going to do a graham cracker crust instead of a pie crust for the strawberry pie. And for that, I'm going to use Model Magic, but I'm going to condition the clay, and then I'm going to glue the clay into the pan around the perimeter. But we're also going to add this Reynolds wrap, like aluminum foil as well. So let me get my glue gun plugged in, and then that can start heating up while we're working. And then I'll leave that. Okay, so with your, hey Dee, she said, I missed it because I got a phone call. Where did you get the pie pans? I'll put the link. I got them on Amazon. Yeah, so for transparency, I do have an Amazon affiliate account, and so when I link them, I will add my affiliate link, which there's no additional cost to you if you happen to click on that and purchase that item through that link, but it would just give me a little bit of credit in my account. So Eileen says, and my whipped topping came off. Wait, your whipped topping came off of what? Eileen, what you mean your did the whipped topping come off of what you just made? Your strawberry shortcake? Tell me. I don't I think that's what you mean. Let me go back and look at more comments really quick. Is that what you mean? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to use 1 ounce, and then we are also going to use this aluminum foil. Okay, so I'm going to, no? What did your aluminum foil come, I meant aluminum foil. What did your whipped topping come off of? Oh, your mini mug, that's right. Oh, wait a second. Okay. All right. What was on top of your mini mug? Did you, did it have something to adhere to or not? Okay. Because when I do my mini mugs, I do a couple things. So if you've ever made a mini mug with me, I do use plaster of Paris in mine as the base. And I will use, I honestly like to use the little, and I don't have one near me to show you, but I like to use like the little cups and I turn them upside down and I glue it in the mini mug. And then I fill it up with the plaster of Paris. And then that way it's like the whole mug isn't full of plaster of Paris. It like saves on your product. Excuse me. But it gives it a nice solid feel to it, which that's just how I make mine. I like to make mine that way. But when I do the plaster of Paris, then a lot of times I will put the toothpicks, again, here's my little toothpicks. I know Joe's getting ready to order one of these off Macari. You'll love it. It's so cute. But a lot of times I will put my toothpicks in the plaster of Paris and then let it dry. Kind of like if you think about like concrete work and rebar. And then once it does that, then when you do you pipe your topping on it, it will attach to those. And then the other thing I do is I will add a styrofoam ball, like a half of a styrofoam ball on the top of my little mini mug. Like I'll pour the plaster of Paris, I'll put the toothpicks with the half a styrofoam ball, the little minis, and then let that set up. And then when I go to pipe it on, it's not, I don't have to like, I'm just coating that styrofoam ball to give it the height. And then it just surrounds that ball. And then the styrofoam is like textured, so that helps your piping, it helps your whipped topping hold too. So I'm not sure how you did yours. She says, I'm doing a strawberry mug with the fake ants. Oh, so yeah, so even if it's like a bigger mug, I do the same. Like that's just the technique I use. Okay, so this is almost ready. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, so this clay, I'm going to grab another piece of parchment. Oh, I was hoping for a baby piece, and there you go. All right, so this clay is pretty conditioned. I'm going to set it down. Then I'm going to grab my aluminum foil. And then I'm just going to grab a piece. For this size little pie plate, I'm just grabbing like this size, okay? And then I'm going to crinkle it up. I'm going to put the shiny side down. I want the dull side to face up, okay? So I'm going to crinkle it up. And what we're doing with this is you're putting it in your pie tin, okay? And the reason is because we don't want to use, we'll be able to use less strawberries, and then they will also be, they'll stand up higher in your little pie tin, okay? All right, so we're just gonna crumble it up and just stick it in the bottom of your pie tin. That's the reason that we have the glue gun. And, oh good, I was gonna say I need another stick here. Okay, perfect. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that aluminum foil to the bottom of my pie tin. So let me just squeeze this. There we go. I'm just going to be generous like that. And I'm going to stick my aluminum down in there. And then I don't want to, I still want to leave it scrunched up. Like I don't want to push too hard and then have it lose its shape. But it's going to look like that. Okay. There we go. A little bit on the bottom. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do, I still need this, but let's move my mouse back here. I'm going to move this out of the way for just a second. So there we go. All right. So I still need that, but next we're going to, Eileen. She said, plop. Wait, I'm doing strawberry mug with the fake ants and flop, plop. Well, yeah, but turning it upside down was not a smart move. Yeah, don't do that. Okay, so I took a, well, there goes that. Hold on. Okay. Oh, I didn't have the little legs pushed down. Hang on. There we go. All right. I'm going to switch my parchment. I need a bigger piece because I'm going to roll this. Put that over there. I'm going to roll this out in my hand. And I need a bigger piece. Okay. All right. So now, okay, so for this, I'm going to roll it into a ball, and then you're just going to do like a cylinder like this, and then you're just going to roll it out. So, and what we're going to do is we want it big enough to go around the rim of the inside of our pie. Yeah, don't turn it upside down. Okay. So let me bring this back. Okay. So I'm just kind of putting it around the bottom of the pie instead of inside. It is going to go inside. Well, hello, teddy bear. Hello. Hang on one second. I don't like to keep my, I'm going to put this on this side of me. If I have the glue gun on, I don't let her in here. And since she just came in here, I'm going to move it so she can't get hurt by it. But I just got paint on me from something. Oopsie. Oh, it was on the cord. Here we go. All right. Hang on one second. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I had draped my cord through paint. Hi, honey. What are you doing in here? She never comes bebopping in here. That's amazing. Okay, I'll leave her alone. Again, I don't want them near my cord. So we're going to move it over to here. All right. And I'm sat it down on my thing. Okay. Let's move that. Honey never comes in. Well, because she had to come through the doggy door and she doesn't like that. So, all right. I'm going to put it around the top. Oh, it's plenty big enough now. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to press it down in here. So it's more than big enough. And I'll show you. So I'm going to press it in here. We're actually going to glue it in just a second. So let me pull part of that off of there. Okay. She's like, maybe I don't want in here. She can't decide. Okay, I'm going to actually use all of this. So I think I got it a little thin in spots. So I'm going to come back in and press it in. Okay, perfect. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do, hi. So I'm going to press it in, and then I am going to glue this in. Okay. I don't know where she went. Oh, there she is. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to pinch it so that it becomes one again, and I'm going to flatten it down. Okay. All right, so it kind of looks like that at this point. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I've got my glue gun. I'm going to lift it up like this, and I'm going to glue it. Okay. It's going to have solution on the inside, our pie filling, but because we're not waiting for this to dry and it does shrink, I want to give it something to hold on to that pie pan while it's setting up. Okay. So we're just going to use the hot glue, and that works fine. Get all the way around. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my sand mixture back because we are going to do graham cracker crust. That's the idea. You hear her down there. I have a piece of parchment. I have another cookie sheet that's on the ground that she's, there we go. There's another cookie sheet on the ground. And let me undo this. That she is, she's digging around on. Okay, you're fine. All right, there we go. We're good. I just wanted to unplug that so that way I don't have to worry as much. All right, and then I'm gonna leave that there for now. Okay, let me get my little wispies. And then we're gonna get the same colors that we used before. So I'm gonna grab that. Here's my little, that's the brown. And then I'm going to smush this. You can make yours any shape that you want. Because it's graham cracker crust, I'm just going to make it smooth. Like I'm not giving it, I'm not going to give it like a fancy little ruffled edge or anything. I'm just going to leave it smooth. And then I will show you. Okay. Once you get the, I still got the little ribbons. Once you get the paint and the sand mixture on there, then you won't notice it. Okay. I'm going to grab, I put this back, forgetting that we were doing the graham cracker crust on this one. Okay, and then let me grab, I'm going to grab this paintbrush. This one's a little bigger. Okay, and then I'm just going to go over it, and we're just going to paint it. Now remember, this is the same mixture that we used on the graham cracker for the strawberry cheesecake. So it is, I'm using the brown paint, and then I'm using Mod Podge. So it's half and half. So it's not just paint, and that's what really helps your sand mixture stick, is because there's glue in this paint. Okay. All right, and the other thing is that if you get glue on your pie plate, you don't need to worry about it. Once this is completely cured, you know, whatever the sand mixture does not stick to, you can come back in either with your nail or with, like I usually use my fingernail. But I mean, you could use a little tool and then you can like scrape it off. It'll come right off of the little tin. Like it won't want to stick to the tin very well. Okay. So let me get all this on here. And then we're going to mix up our strawberry filling. Okay. Shoot, I might want to, no, I think I'll be okay. I was going to say I might want to dry this with a blow dryer, but I don't think so. I think the sand mixture will just stick to it and it'll be just fine. Because we just did that on that one and that was fine. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit more on the top layer here because this is where I'm going to pour the sand. Okay. Stuck to my hand. All right, there we go. All right, let me show you again. All right, so you've got the aluminum foil on the inside, and then you've just got the clay and then the little paint on the outside. Let me grab a wet wipe. I got a little bit on me. Yeah, I painted that without gloves on. Crazy, right? That never happens. Well, hardly. All right. Let me scooch those and lay that there. Okay, so now that we have that, we'll grab that plate back. Okay, and now this is somewhat cool. I can stick it on my metal shelf up high to where it's not near my girls. So let me scooch that over to where it belongs. There we go. I just don't normally allow them in the room if I'm going to have like the glue gun on or anything, just because I don't want to take a chance of them getting hurt by it. So, okay, so now I'm going to stick it over here on my pie plate. And let me grab get my spoon back. And then I'm just going to add it to, well, let me hold on to it actually. There, I'll hold it, it'd be easier. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle it. I'm going to start with the inside first. Don't worry if it gets down inside your pie pan or the aluminum foil. We are going to shake it off in just a second. But any extra that gets down there, it's not a problem. So don't fret or don't worry about that. Okay. Let me get these on the inside first. All right, and then turn it upside down. And then I'm going to go all around the edges because you can see like there's still paint here on the edges. Okay, and then we are going to fill this, but if I wasn't doing it all in one, I would wait till this dries. And then if it needs a second coat, I would add it. And if it doesn't, I'd go ahead and seal it with a Mod Podge. Okay, and the other thing is that when you go to seal it with the Mod Podge, you're going to notice it gets a slight bit darker because that Mod Podge it interacts with the cinnamon mixture that I have in here, and it just gets it a little bit deeper color. So just keep that in mind, okay? Which I like, so it's not a problem. I just want you to be aware. Okay. All right, let me finish shaking that out. Okay. It's like, okay, good enough. All right, then let's take this, pour this back in. All right, and then we'll move that aside. Let's move that over to there. And we'll scooch this over to here. Okay, then we've got our little pie. Let me shake this off into my garbage can. Okay, and then we'll bring it back. All right, so now that you have that, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill it with strawberries. Okay, so depending on however many strawberries, I think mine were like 6 or 7. I probably should have put them in before I did the clay, actually, and I didn't. So I'm going to use 3 of the big ones, and then here's a smaller one. So I think I did 4 small ones. Let me pull all these out, and then I'll lay that there. Okay, so I think I did all small ones. For this one, I'm not going to leave the little green tops on, okay? So I'm just going to pull them out, just like that. And then I have my red marker. So if you pull them out and then you see like you'll see it's got the white styrofoam, I color that in because I don't want you to see that. Okay. So I've got 2. I feel like I did 7. I've made this before. So let me pull that out. Anyway, if you have any questions at this point, let me know. If you are catching this on replay, this is our second tutorial. I'm doing a double this evening. So the first one, I'll hold it up. We did a strawberry cheesecake, which looks like this. And then our second one is, I'm just calling it Strawberry Pie Baby, which I think my whole tutorial was Strawberry Pie Baby, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull this one off too in case I decide I need it. All right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I like to mark. I'm going to grab one glove, just one. I'm going to hold it in my hand and I'm going to mark on them. Oh, I forgot to pull these off. Let me grab these. Okay, those came out much better. I don't have as bad of a mark. Well, at least that one. Oh, that one. Okay, but anyway, like I said, it depending on your pie pan, however many, it'll depend on how much aluminum foil you put in the bottom, and it's also going to depend on what size strawberries that you're using. I'm going to pull that off backwards. I'm going to use my marker, and I'm just going to color it in, okay? And then that way, I don't have to worry. Like that way it's kind of covered up red, okay? And then I'm going to lay it in there. Got red on this one. Lay that in there. And then now we've got this one. And I'm going to just put them in there, just random, like however you want to put yours in there. I'm going to grab the baby ones. Let me check our time. Okay, we're good. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Put that one in there. And here. I'm going to take out one of the big ones and use more of the little ones. I kind of like them. I think it looks more proportionate. Okay. So again, even if you're not seeing them, if you're not seeing them, you don't have to take the time to do the marker. I just do it out of habit because that's what I've done in the past. And then that way, I don't want it to get all finished and have one of my strawberries move or twist or turn or something. And then you can see it and then I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to take these big ones out for just a second. Kind of like in the babier ones. All right. So I am putting it so that the bottoms are down, but I don't know if it'll stay that way. So I'd much rather. Oh, good. This is one that had the, oh yeah, this is one that had the piece missing. I don't remember what I was doing, but something. Okay. Which I actually like it missing because then it looks more realistic, I think. There's a little white spot there. And then, oh, and this was the other one. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you got to see Eileen before me. She did a strawberry shortcake, like a sweet little strawberry dessert. And then again, if you're just tuning in, I didn't know she was doing strawberries. She did not know I was doing strawberries. So I think it's kind of funny. Us creators are on the same page. And then I'm doing like a couple different strawberry desserts for you all. I may end up doing a third one if we have time. We'll see. Nancy says, have you ever used more foil and cut strawberries in half long ways? Used your red marker on raw edge to save some product? Yes, I have. And that's kind of what we did with these is I cut these strawberries in half and then we used the marker. Even though you may not see it, I still used the marker for that one. So, okay, I think I'm going to do one big one in the center. How about that? And then we'll do the little ones. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're going to do it this way. Let me turn this one down. Yeah, the only reason for this one I'm doing them whole is I want to be able to see them whole, and then the solution that we're going to put on there, you'll be able to see them. So there you go. All right. I think I like that. Whoops. As soon as I got it, they shuffled. They moved. Okay. Let me turn these around. Okay. How about I do every other one up and down? I'll do that. That'll make more sense to me. Okay. So I've got some turned up, some turned down. There we go. Hang on. Okay. All right. So I have them in my little pie shell. And even though, like, you can see the color of the marker, when I add the solution, it'll get darker. So, all right. So let me grab another glove. So we need that. Okay. And then, okay, so for this one, I'm using something called acrylic water, and it looks like this. You'll find it in the floral department. This one I actually got at Hobby Lobby, and they come in different sizes. This one is, how many parts is this? It's an A and a B, just like resin, and they were 4 ounces to start with. Okay, and so this one, I think, I don't know if there's an ounce left or not. So I have equal parts. So anyway, so we're going to mix this up and we're going to pour this on top. So let me grab one of our little cups. There we go. Right. And then I'm just going to use my measuring cup just to make sure what is in here. Okay, good. So I've got an ounce. Hi, you coming back in? My husband must have gotten busy or something because Honey's back. That's the second time. And she doesn't like to come through the doggy door. So, okay, so this is 1 ounce. I'm going to just use up all of what's in this little bottle. So it'll end up being 2 ounces in my little tray. So let's use this one to make sure. Awesome. All right. Okay, so I am using 2 ounces for this one. This is how much I used before when I made a different one. You can use more or less depending on the size of your pie plate. It's also going to depend on how much of that aluminum foil that you put in there and how much of a rim on the graham cracker crust rim. If like you could have more, you could have less. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you might need to mix up more. You might find you have a lot. Like, it's just going to depend. So. All right, and then these, no, oh, there's my cup. Okay, these are done. All right, and then I'm going to go back to I'm going to use the same color. So let me go back to, I'm using the red on here, and I'm using, whoopsie, and I'm using the brown. Okay, and then I ended up with 2 ounces, so I'm going to stick with the same. I'm going to do 10 drops of the red, and y'all know I get quiet. So hang on. And 10. Okay. And then I'm going to do 4 of this one. And then, let me see. Hang on one second. Okay, perfect. Again, I don't want to mix it up with my popsicle stick, but maybe I'll turn my, well, I can just use a spoon. I'll use a spoon. This is fine. I'm going to use a spoon to spoon it in anyway. So there you go. I'll just grab a spoon. So, okay. Then we're going to stir this up. And I used the same color that I used on my strawberry shortcake. Or I keep saying shortcake. That's not strawberry shortcake. I used the same color I just used for the strawberry cheesecake. Okay, so the difference between this and resin is the resin, you have like a window, like a 30 to 40 minute window. Well, really depends on what brand you use, but for the brand I'm using, it has about a 40-minute window. Okay, and then the resin heats up, and then it just gets thicker and thicker until you use it or until it seizes up, right? Okay, with this is completely different. This stays cool. And it is, let me grab it again, so I'll show you. It stays cool, and it is a 2-part, but it turns into a gel, okay? And so what we're going to do is I'm going to spoon it into my little pie pan, and then I'm not going to move it, and then it's just going to set up. So once it cures, it's going to be a red, clear, it's going to be a red translucent gel is what it's going to look like, okay? So I'm going to bring this over here. I was like, do I have another tray? Hold on. Let me look. Hang on one second, because I would like to put it on a tray. I think those are all my large trays. Oh, wait, I have a little one. Here we go. Sorry if you hear banging around over here. I know you can't see me, but I want to grab another tray. Okay, cool. That's my drying rack, which you cannot see. It's not in the camera's view, but I have things that have dried, and I don't need to be on the drying rack. So anyway, so I'm going to wipe this down a little bit, and then I'm going to put an additional, I want to be able to pick it up and move it. So that's the reason I use these. I love, love, love the baby size, because for this simple reason, like you'll see on this, I have 2 pieces of pie, 2 cheesecakes, and it's like I can just move it around. Like, it's just so easy. Now I do have the large ones too, so just depending, like if I was going to make like a whole bunch of them, then I would definitely use the larger size. But for tonight, again, you saw we're just using the small one. So there, that's perfect. Okay, and then we'll just use this. Let me shake this off in my garbage. Okay, I'm just going to use this. How about this? I don't really need this big size. I'm going to save that. As you all know, we reuse our parchment paper. I try to use the good stuff on camera with you all. And then behind the scenes, that's when I grab the other stuff. I'm going to flip this over so it lays flat. There we go. All right, and then now I'm going to put my little cheesecake in the middle of that. And then, again, okay, so as I said, this does not get hot. You're going to want to put it, oh, it's curling up this way. Let's put it back the other way maybe. You're going to want to put it on a surface and not move it. Like, you really want to keep it level. And then that way, as it cures, you don't want to move it. I'm going to cut this down. I just wanted to fit inside my little tray here. There we go. Okay, so you don't want to move it once you start to pour your solution, not solution, but you know what I mean, your mixture on top. My camera disappeared. Whoops, hang on. There we are. Okay. But anyway, so you just want to mix it up, use whatever colors that you want, and then I just spoon it on. I start with going over top of each of the strawberries. And that's the thing about using that aluminum foil in the bottom, is that it's a pie pan. And so like if you see silver in the bottom, it's like it kind of looks like the bottom of the pan, even though it's crinkled up. Do you know what I mean? It really does. It looks like the bottom of your pan. So anyway, so I just start by pouring it over each of the strawberries, because that gel, it's going to, just like a resin, it's going to coat that strawberry. And when it dries, you want it to have that glossy gel filling look. Okay. So I'm going to make sure and cover up all my strawberries. And it is running off, but that's okay, because now it's going to run down into the bottom of my pie pan. And then it will fill up that space. But like I said, I'm starting at the top, like on every berry. I want to start at the top, and then it will fill it up, and then it should look like strawberry pie filling. Like that's the idea. Okay. Let me pour this in here, and then I'm going to turn my little, I'm dripping it. I'm going to turn my tray so that I can see. I want to make sure I'm covering up every berry. Like I said, if you don't get it on the berries, it's just going to look like the strawberry. It's just going to look like strawberry that you took out of the package. And that's not what we're after. We're wanting it to look exactly like a pie, like pie filling, right? There we go. We keep turning it. There we go. All right, let me turn it back around. Okay, and like I said, I glued that aluminum foil into the bottom, so now it's like the gel that I'm putting in here, it's just going to fill up the pie. Okay, there you go. All right, and I did get some drips on my crust, and so it's like, if that happens to you, if you don't like it, you can come back and you can just add more of the crust after it cures. Don't do it now, but after it cures, if you feel like you need more, you can add more. But if not, and you're okay with the drips on the crust, then just leave them. That's fine too. All right, so I use the whole thing up here. Again, depending on what size pie that you make, will depend on like how much of the solution, like how much of the pie filling that you're going to need for that. So okay, but again, like you just don't want to touch it. Like once you get it out of here, like just let it set up, and then you'll see it will dry really, I'll set that there. It's going to dry really shiny, and it's, even though we colored it, it's going to have like a translucent look to it, like a very shiny, clear look, but it's still red. So, all right, so let me see what time it is. I want to make sure. Oh, good. We've got 54. Yay. Okay. Well, that worked out great then. Okay, perfect. Let me come back. So we've got like 5 minutes left if you guys have any questions. What I will do for mine is that I will come back in and I will put like a dollop of whipped cream on top of it. And that's kind of why I wanted like the bigger one in the center, so that it kind of stands up and stands out. But if you don't want to, and you just want to leave yours like with just the strawberries, you could. Another cute thing you could do is if you wanted to add like a spoon or even like a fork, like you could stick it in there and have it sticking out of it, almost like that's your little pie, like you're eating the whole pie. So that's cute too. So, but anyway, so yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed our strawberry evening so far tonight. Mary from Hog Wild Designs, she's coming up after me. I do not know what she is going to be making. But anyway, please stick around for her. If you are not following her, you can go to her business page, Hog Wild Designs, and you can just click and follow her. And then you'll get notifications whenever she goes live. And that's the same for myself and Eileen and Barb. If you are in the Heavenly Fake Bake Decor group, then all of these are getting streamed live into that group. So you can find us all in one place. But yeah, so let me grab my mouse really quick. I've still got a few minutes, but if you all have any questions, just let me know. Just want to remind you that our workshop is called Life's a Picnic. Let me grab, hey, I'll do that really quick. Speaking of strawberries, I'm going to grab one of the items and I'm going to show you a really quick sneak peek. So hang on one second. One second. Hang on just 1 second. Okay, sorry. My little doggy door is noisy. All right, so I wanted to show you. So if you have not signed up for the Life's a Picnic workshop, this goes along with our strawberry theme. This is one of the items that we're going to be making in the workshop. It is our strawberry shortcake biscuit. So it is a real biscuit. I created a real biscuit and I created a mold, and I will be announcing something about the mold for the biscuit on the workshop. But yeah, so, and this strawberry filling is a completely different technique than what we did tonight on the strawberry shortcake and on the strawberry pie. So, but anyway, I just wanted to show you. It turned out so cute, so sweet. I cannot wait for the workshop so that I can share with you guys and teach you how to do it. So I'll just set that right there. But yeah, have fun. Lots of strawberries. This is the perfect time of year. If you have an Etsy shop or a website and you sell items, strawberries are a huge hit right now. So anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed this, and please stick around for Mary. She is coming up next. I am going to hop off of here. I will put a link to the workshop. It is $28 per person. And again, it's on May 26th. So this Sunday, it's already Thursday, so we've just got a couple days. It starts at noon Eastern Standard, and we will go till 8 p.m. And what else did I want to tell you? If you are a member, you guys get an exclusive discount. So all of the workshops are $10 instead of $28. You save $18. So if any of you are kind of on the fence about maybe joining the membership or maybe wanting to try out a workshop, we invite you to join the membership. Once you join the membership and you are part of that membership, you are immediately eligible to purchase any of the workshops, not just this one, at the $10 price. And this will be is this our 8th workshop? I think this is our 8th one. I think so. 7th or 8th. I think it's our 8th one. But anyway, so we would love to have you join us. It's always a good time. It's always fun. You know, aside from doing the tutorials, we have a great group of people in there. And we just, there's a lot of love, a lot of laughter, and just a lot of joy with doing, you know, with being able to do these fake bakes and being able to share my passion with you all and being able to teach you just makes my heart so happy, so happy. So, okay, so if you have any questions about that or anything else that we did tonight, we did the little strawberry cheesecakes. So glad you all helped me in moving them, because you can see they're spreading, and now this looks more realistic. And then we did the strawberry pie baby. And then that will set up and that will be ready. So, okay, I am going to hop off of here so that Mary can come into the group next. So if you are in the group, all you'll need to do is refresh your screen, and then she will come up and then you will see her. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much for spending your evening with us, especially for me doing a double. I enjoyed it. I hope that you guys did as well. I missed you, Barb. I know you're having a great time with your family. So just sending you lots of love and lots of hugs. And so we will not be back next week, although I will have something, I will upload something for you guys, something kind of fun. So do check in on us next week. You'll see something kind of fun. But as far as our live crafting day, we are going to take a little break next week. I will be on vacation. And then we will resume the following Thursday, which is June 6th. So, okay, I'm going to hop off of here so that Mary can get in here. But thank you all so much, and you all have a great rest of your night. Thanks. Bye.